Hey guys, how's it going? Tyler here, and we're bringing you another week of YGO. So this week we had a happy birthday to celebrate. Sadly, not mine, that's not for a few months yet in case you want to get me something nice. But it was the second birthday of Castle Comics. Of course, that's where I go for all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Based shenanigans, and we had such hit stars coming in as Jabba the Hutt. We also had a really weird and awkward walk to the front door, and I had to carry the tail. But we also had hit stars such as Batman, Superman, for all the kids to take pictures with and have a good day. We also had a few festivities such as a Magic the Gathering tournament. There was also face painting and a few deals going on, so I was happy to be in the shop and hang around that. And as well as that, we also had Daily from the Buy and Sell UK Yu-Gi-Oh! Page coming in. He's one of the larger vendors that we know, so he was coming in to kind of restock, get some trades, buy some cards off us, but he was nice enough to show us part of his collection. So he has that Cyberstein there with a signature on it from someone who's I'm pretty sure is important, but I cannot for the life of me remember. Also, I thought I'd show off the kind of, I believe that's an Xyz test card or something like that, and he was showing us that this card came in misprinted. I believe it was just an ultra rare when one of them should have been an ultimate. And of course we've got Alligator's Sword as well, the best card in the game, undisputed, beats everything. Speaking of cards that I really like though, I've always been a fan of Dark Paladin since I was a wee kid, so I'm going to have to pick myself up a nicer Dark Paladin than the one I've got. And yeah, just having a look through some of the binders, this is more vendory stuff, so he's got pages upon pages of everything you would possibly need in Mirror Force. I hate Mirror Force because just now everyone seems to be running it and you never expect it. So, and when I say everyone, I mean locals. Competitively, God no, no one will ever run Mirror Force, except Revolver from Vrains. Moving on, we've got a small pack opening from Tommy. Decided to treat himself and got a few decent pulls. Got Called by the Grave, which is always nice to have, a Nightmare Unicorn, and me being a total freak was like, oh no, Awaken the Dragon, got to get that first. And for the third pack, he got Red Reboot, which again, it's always a nice card to have, just in case you need to side it. Then later on in the day, we decided that we'd get some face painting done. I totally lied and said that I would get something ridiculous done, and then I convinced Tommy to get Kratos done. As we celebrated the day, boy definitely intensified. As we get drunker and drunker, boy definitely intensified. And there's the typical Kratos skill. Moving on, we now have my first collection that I'll be doing, so I'm just going to try and collect all the rarities and forms of the four-dimensional dragons. I actually did really like Arc V. As we know, the ending for it isn't great, but you know, I enjoyed pretty much the most of it, so this is what I'm going to go for, and once this is done, it'll be beautiful. Taking a look at Sunday. Sunday was pretty chill. I was looking after the dog that you've seen in a few videos, so I thought I would just spend some time and try and learn the hero deck that I've recently built. Still waiting on a few extra deck cards coming, but the main deck is pretty much as solid as it could get just now. So I was just trying to see the best possible combinations that we could get, or different outcomes based on our opening hands, of course. So a wee bit of Solitaire. Going into everything, this deck actually can pretty reliably get out a Darklaw and a Borderload Dragon, which is always good to have. And then on top of that, I thought I would just tease you a little. I'm finally done and finally happy with the Pendulum Magician deck profile that I've got. So I'm going to have that videoed and profiled and bring it out to you within the next week or so. But I'm really excited to do that, so that will be later on the agenda for today. And then speaking of later on, I decided that with Cybernetic Horizon coming out, I was going to go ahead and test some of the new Cyber Dragon support. I'm really enjoying Cyber Dragon Sky Strikers. If only Engage wasn't literally an arm and a leg to buy, I probably would build it. And if it does get a reprint, or if anything happens to make it drop in price, I probably will pick the deck up. But moving on, we had some more exciting duels, I would say, or maybe not exciting is the word, but something that actually tested me and made me think quite a bit. So I was going up against Paleo Frogs, which is quite a slow, grindy deck, as opposed to Cyber Dragons, which wants to just one turn OTK. That's really redundant. It just wants to OTK you as fast as it quickly can, but I found that the Sky Striker engine does give it that potential grind ability. So going up against the Paleo deck, it made me really think a lot, because it's not a deck that I go up against often, so it was really fun to have a wee think. And it was kind of later on in the night, so by the end of the night I was literally just running on fumes, just trying to get rid of like that one last card that he kept bringing out, and over again. But overall I was happy with the build, so I might build it, might not, we'll see how it goes with the prices of Engage. Okay, so going on to Wednesday, as we know, Wednesday is Locals Day for me. So I went down to Castle Comics, met some of the guys and had a good night. And because they were all playing kind of semi-new decks that I hadn't seen before, it actually kind of caught me off guard. So it led me to overthink a lot of the plays that I was doing, and it led me to not play as well as I'd like. So again, guys, just lesson of the week, don't overthink it, right? Just go with the flow, take it easy, don't get yourself too stressed out. However, speaking of just a kind of de-stressor, I had an off game. So because we had an odd number, we just had someone sit out. For this round it was me, and I went up against Tommy, Pilot and Stephen's Blackwing. Stephen, as you'll know, has appeared on the channel a couple times. So we thought we'd just have a fun wee 10-minute game and see what we can do with the decks. So he decided to sit on Beals because heroes don't have a huge amount of outs for it naturally in the deck, unless, you know, you kind of managed to bounce it with Nightmare Unicorn, or in my case I actually got it banished with BLS. So aim of the game pretty much was to make him think that I was going into standard hero plays, kind of make sure that he's not expecting everything, because Tommy's really fun to wind up. So when you kind of get that out to what he thinks is not unbreakable, but you know, better than what you've got, it does get a wee bit wound up, and it's hilarious to see. So I started to load up my graveyard with Mali and his Sold, going into Blackluster Soldier, banishing Beals and having a good time with it. The camera died, so I didn't get the full match, but we did have a good time and it was a good night. And then going on to Thursday, pretty much just took a friend of mine from work down to Geek Retreat in Glasgow, and we got him a few starter decks because he was interested in getting into the game. So we loaded him up with everything that he could possibly need. Sleeves, deck box, everything but a game mat, which I'm sure we'll get him into at some point. Then we decided to play a quick game just to get him used to the link rules, because he's been out of the game for quite a while. And you know, he showed a wee bit of talent. So while I did end up winning, he did make some pretty cool moves, and I really appreciated that he actually cared about what was going on and he cared about learning. So hopefully someone has kickstarted their new hobby and we're going to have a good time with it. However, this week, guys, it has been quite a short one, so again, I sincerely thank you all for watching. Tell everyone, your friends, your family, the mailman, and all the cool kids as usual. Again, I hope you've had a great time watching the video. You've been amazing, I've been Tally, and you all have a great time.